There we go. Hey guys, hope everyone's doing alright. So, yeah, I've missed a few streams. It seems to be a bit of a pattern at the moment, but yeah, just kind of getting through work, bit of a grind at the moment, to be honest. So I've been kind of, spending my evenings playing games and playing guitar, all that sort of stuff. But, it's about time I get back to this project. So that's what we're going to do. So, kind of looking at the project, obviously it is starting to get towards the end of the process now. Like it's not a million miles away from being finished. It's still not finished. It's not close to being great, but it's getting closer. One sec. But yeah, so I just had to quickly reply to a message there. But yeah, it's not a million miles away from being finished. So it's just a case now of like finding what's holding it back the most, because it's not a perfect image. No art really ever will be, but mine's a bit further than perfect than I want it to be. So the things that are kind of holding it back in my mind are definitely the wood shader. Like absolutely not a shadow of a doubt, it's this wood. I feel like I might need to match what's closer in the scene. So let me just mute the tabs. It's got some work chats open and stuff. But yeah, so what was I saying? 1 second. Cool. But yeah, so the wood shader is absolutely the thing holding it back most. So I might test matching these colors just to see what happens. If it works, it works. If not, then so be it. These, what's the word? These bricks back here are still holding it back quite a lot, and then you got the curves as well, which are too flat. So we'll see what we can do, and if it doesn't work, so be it, and if it does, great. So let's just get on with it. That's the desktop. Cool. So let's just try picking a color to begin with. So I'm going to alt save my scene. Cool. And let's get the shaders selected. So let's go panel. Let's get that hyper shade. I need to set this as my default workspace. So let's. Oh, I guess this is fine. Cool. It's a bit sluggish. There we go. While we're at it, let's hide the grooms because we don't need that. This speeds everything up now as well. So get that closed. And let's just graph this guy. And then let's get the alt open. So save snapshot. Which is there, store snapshot. I always lose the store snapshot. But yeah, so we got that. So let's start a IPR back here. Yeah, I'll try going closer to these because I think there's two issues for the wood in my head. There's the issue of it being, it's featureless currently. That's the main issue, it's completely featureless. So we'll need to kind of, and when I say featureless, what I mean by that is I don't mean detail, because detail is irrelevant to an overall image. It's more that the planks kind of blend into each other, even though they are different from each other. You can see up here they're separate, but sometimes it just doesn't work. While we're at it, let's just quickly disable, I think it's in diagnostics, let's disable volume. Where's volume? Oh, atmosphere. And let's also disable depth of field. There it is. Cool. It gets so much darker without the atmosphere in there. But yeah, like you can see how when I disable this again, like the wood, like it's missing mid frequency, I think, because it's got high frequency detail, it's got low frequency color, but it doesn't have enough variation in the mid. Whereas this works a lot better because each plank is different, but you've also got these like patches where it's lighter or darker, which I think is what we're missing. The colours also being massively desaturated doesn't help. Let's quickly check that. Although I feel like part of the issue could legitimately be the what's the word I'm looking for right now? The atmosphere. Maybe it is too thick. Or maybe even depth field is too much. Who knows? We could always do a fucking double depth of field thing where we render the characters separate, give them depth field we want, and then sharpen everything else up. So that actually looks alright on its own. It's still missing that low frequency, but it's looking better. This is why I'm not a concept artist. Let's just try picking the colours anyway, just in case it helps. So the colours will be coming from this ramp. That looks about right to me. So let's just saturate them. I think that's them anyway. That's wood texture. I should name the nodes. It looks like this is the right one because it's going into a bunch of different remaps. So let's just call this ramp wood coal. And let's just whack up the saturation on these. It's a bit better. Might be a bit too orange now though, is the problem. Obviously that being a shadow doesn't help much. We can always as well separate the models a bit more physically, that could help. Oh, it looks like these are joined somehow. What noise is doing that? Let's so the base color is obviously different. This cell noise isn't different between them. But I thought we were, yeah, there's something plugged into time. Why is that not? Oh, that's not what I want to do. Go 1. Oh, has it crashed? Hey! Okay. Got me one of those streams. Okay, so let's open that scene up again. Oh no, did you join as it crashed? Oh, grand total of 9 minutes into the stream, or 10 minutes into the stream, and we get our first crash. So let's hide the Grim group again. Let's go into diagnostics, turn off depth field and atmosphere again. Start a preview render. So let's just go. Yeah, Ian, completely your fault, not gonna lie. Get out of here. It's like that as well, it might have been not helping. Hey there, still learning with a mate, but have a good stream. Thanks, man. Hope you're doing well. Panel, let's go Hypershade. So let's find out why this isn't working. So we got our wood texture, color, solo that guy. So he's different enough. Let's quickly sort out the color then save. We'll just up the saturation on all these. Not by a huge amount. I just wanted to have color rather than be grey. I might have to change the hue on a few of them as well. What happens if we do this? Yeah, let's bring that down. So, there's a bit orange. Let's slide the hue of this guy. That feels a bit too yellow. It'd be nice if there's a way to make this bigger. That feels a bit too orange now, right? As in, like, the colors are too saturated. Let's just step it back to a reasonable level. So 2, 3. So let's just pause that for a moment and start. What's the word I'm looking for right now? Oh shit, what is the word I'm looking for right now? I'll get there eventually, but oh damn, that's way too bright back there. Let's fix that as well. He's too dissimilar from the others. There we go. So if we solo this, that's the raw colors we've given the shader. So that should be fine. We then go to this noise. That noise looks like it's different. Like, it looks like it's not connected. So then let's go to the edgeware noise. It looks like it is continuing over, so this time thing's not really working. So let's set that back to 1 and try that again. Was I just going too far with a 2000? Because that looks like it's barely changing. Let's go 1.5. That's a lot better. Or is it one of those where full numbers end up in the same result? Or closer to the same result? That'd be interesting if that was what the issue is. Let's just quickly give it past the full image. So, how much is atmosphere ruining it? So atmosphere isn't doing much damage to you, so what about you? Yeah, atmosphere butchers these ones, I guess because they're in shadow. put atmosphere back on. Or back off even. Yeah, atmosphere's an issue, isn't it? Just let that do a few passes. It's gonna be a lot quicker to render without the depth of field going. The colours still don't feel right. Maybe I'm just massively overdoing it with depth of field. It's so bright, holy shit. You can tell that this pipe was looked at in depth of field, can't you? Jesus. Okay, so let's... Oh, I need to add screws to the bottom of these as well, don't I? I forgot about that. Otherwise, how are these held on? Okay, we'll do that later. So let's just go with just this bit and let that get relatively clean. I'll let you do this pass and then snapshot it. This skin material thing was so weird. So I was at one point thinking doing like some weird, really creepy worm monster coming out of these. Ended up not doing that. Alright, so that will do as a test. Let's pause that and store a snapshot. Cool. So let's adjust the microphone position slightly. There we go. So we've got that. Now let's turn back on depth of field. Or turn depth of field back on, even. Yeah, I feel like I've just gone too extreme with depth of field. It's weird how it makes the pipe feel thinner. I understand why, but it's interesting. Yeah, so it destroys it a bit too much, doesn't it? So let's grab that camera. Just lessen the depth of field slightly. We can always change it later. It's a pretty easy thing to fix. Question is, where is it? Is it in, oh yeah, cam group. That would make sense. So let's just go down to Arnold, and we just want to change the aperture size to a smaller size. So this won't recover detail, like it's still blurry. It's still on the upper bound of what most good lenses will give you. Sorry, not even good lenses, bad lenses, sorry. Well, I guess it depends on taste. Never mind, I'm bullshitting again. So, 1 second. Yeah, this goes a bit detail back. And how the bricks look good now. Are we gonna bit that back too? Alright, yeah, maybe making depth field more subtle is a good thing. I always like to overdo depth field, it's like one of my favourite things. It does make me question though how the other thing's gonna come out now, or how the monster's gonna look. So depth of field was making the hair in this guy look pretty cool in some places. I'm guessing there's not much going on here, yeah, I thought so. This is where it should be in focus. Okay, so yeah, reducing depth field has helped. Now let's turn atmosphere back on and find a more subtle place for that to sit. So the way we're controlling the strength for that isn't using the actual smoke stuff. Oh, actually, that's something that someone mentioned to me. Right, so let's save this scene. One of the issues with my smoke is that it feels way, well, it's not even smoke, it's more of a haze, but it's way too uniform, like way too uniform. So someone suggested adding a noise to it to kind of, you know, change the density a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's give that a go. How am I gonna best show this? Let's go to temp cam. And then let's just grab temp cam in here. And let's just do something like that. Oh, this doesn't actually get rendered, cool. So let's just bring that to there. You can see all the holes in the scene now is like how badly it's built, but this will give us a better view of what that smoke's doing. And how fake the actual setup of the scene is. And look, there's the water, magical. So let's just pause that. I'm gonna save this guy. So let's get I think it's in the render settings, right? I'll renderer environment. Yeah, so there it is there. So we'll do that. And then I'll just select this. And then go into the hypershade. And we can do some stuff with it here. So let's just create a new tab. Wood map. Fog map. And let's just quickly change. Oh, we'll keep the name of that actually. So the density is 0.01, which is pretty subtle. So we need to add something to that. So let's go with a noise. AI cell noise. Give that a go. And I'm going to want to plug this into a set range. So 0.01 set range. Cool. And for now, I'll just put 0.01 just so I can remember it. Old min, old max, 0.1. And just to show as clearly as possible what this is doing. Mesh exported with 0 groups. Alright, cool. Update full scene. Wonder why this bit of wood here is so much brighter than these. That can't be just subsurface, can it? Right, there we go. Beautiful. But you can see the actual density changes now. Got a much more hazy effect. And that's just with the standard Perlin, I think. So that's noise 1. Let's try a cell. Noise 1 and noise 2 are almost the same thing. Cell looks a bit much. So let's not use that. And I guess Wally could look really cool. If I could see what was happening. Alligator. Let's give Wally a go, but then increase the scale of it. So I think it's increasing it makes it bigger. honestly, it's quite difficult to remember sometimes. So let's try 2. Maybe 10 was a bit much. Is that making it smaller? Okay, so that's making it smaller. So let's go 0.1. Because it's counterintuitive, because you think, oh, well, you know, a lower value is going to make it smaller. So you'd think it's higher frequency, but it's not actually how it works. So that's a bit too big, right? Although one thing that kind of popped up is a bit interesting. What if we set Y to a higher number? Because that gives it a layery feel, which is kind of cool. Obviously we have to set this to be fully subtle, so actually let's do that now. Let's grab this red and just grab the red out of there. So there you go. So that just has a bit more of a hazy feel. It's not perfect. I feel like we need a few more octaves. Octaves will break it up, make it feel a little bit less CG. Only a little bit though. One thing you can do as well is you can get the, I can't remember which node it is, but you can get the world position and use that to place a ramp. So you could basically say how it's more compressed towards the ground and then softer towards the top, which can look really fucking cool. I think that will be fine. I don't know about the strength yet. Let's set the min to be like 0.002. So I don't want it to be 0. In fact, no, actually, no, I do want it to be 0. Let's just go incredibly subtle. Let's go 1. And let's just jump back to that tilted camera. So obviously that's going to make it a ton more subtle, because now, before it was all 0.01, whereas now it's between 0 and 0.01, which means it's going to average out at 0.005, which is overall going to make it more subtle, but that's kind of one of the things we want. So can I solo this? Actually looks fucking cool. Let's set that to be even more. At what point do we start seeing it? Let's set this to something a bit more crazy. Change back to that tap cam. Alright, that's a little bit crazy. Trying too hard on that one, so let's put that down to 1 again. And let's set this to be a bigger number. And you as well. How do you get a world position? AI, let me see if we can find something for this. AI world position. Well, actually, no, sampler info can do it, right? Let's see if we can just get it with an Arnold node. Arnold, Maya, world position. Sampler info. Point world. So you can get point world Y, and that gives you the height. So let's get that set range. So we want that to go into down to X. Oh lordy, alright, so we're going to need to measure up our scene here. So what do we want to be considered ground? Let's go back into our perspective camera. So let's just say that, okay, so that's 0. So let's find out what position. 5 goes up to his waist. So then 20 goes up to the top of the scene. So 20 is what we want the max value to be. U. 20. Oh no, so U needs to be 20. And so I want this to be set to 1. Now I can get a remap value. And do oh, I'm breaking my brain. So I want it to be more tile towards the bottom, which means keeping that at a lower value. That makes sense. So what is this actually set to? So that's set to 1. So we want, let's do, would it be easy to do with another set range? No, let's not do that. So we can grab this guy and set that to 0.5. We can then set this guy to about there. So that'd be 10 meters up. So now let's try this. So just to remind myself, that's scale Y is set to 1. So I can just grab this, plug you in there, and now it's going to be all kinds of strange, but it should look the same up here, which it does. And down here it would be denser now. So we're going to need to change the camera angle to see that. I really hope that works. It'd be so cool if it does. Oh yeah, the light's not over there. Might have to hide the geo group. So now the question is it working? Which can be really hard to tell at times. So or is it going the opposite way of what I need? Trying to do, oh yeah, 'cause bigger number is smaller. So it's doing an overflow there, isn't it? And an overflow there. Right, so if we just do that, and then that. So it's working. Which you can see it's visibly more crushed here. My brain is crying. Okay. What would be the best way to do this? I mean, I could do cube. Come on. There we go. Just to visualize it, so I know where I'm supposed to be looking. So let's get your material and assign a new one. Assign new material. Yeah, Lambert, fuck it, why not? And then we'll just plug that directly into Surface Shader. Alright, so it is working. So that's our reference point, I guess. So, okay. Let's disconnect this for a moment. So we want a value of 0.5 towards the bottom, maybe? Wait, I need the characters for this, it'll be helpful. So let's go into the outliner, make GeoGroup visible again. But this time hide the environment. Okay, so there's our visual reference. That little monster head there. So now, let's... Oh yeah, I need to go back to this guy. So a value of 0.5 is bigger. Yes. A value of 5 is going to be tiny. Yeah, so that's thin slices. So what I'm looking at right now is that when I increase this value, these are getting more extreme, like the side-to-side slices. So that's 2. They get a bit wider. Good, right, so we want a value of 1 down here, which this is currently giving us. So, plug you back in there. So I want a value of 1 near the bottom, and 0.5 near the top. It doesn't seem to be working the way I expected to, though. This doesn't get color corrected, does it? But this seems to be doing the opposite. Can I increase this value past 1? Okay, so this... Why does that work? Oh, I know, that's exactly what I expected. Fucking Christ, I'm an idiot. Alright, cool. So, we want it to be a value of 2 down here. So that's 2. Then we want over here to be 0.5. Or closer to. And let's just bring that down. Of course, you probably won't see this in the render, but I just want to give it a go. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're getting this cut off here. Let's try it with another set range instead. So set range into a set range. Which I guess we can just ignore completely, right? And just change. So, dense at the top and it's getting sparser towards the bottom. Visually, that's what's happening, right? So, if we just invert these two, let's say min of that and 0 on you, we now should have the opposite. Which is hard to tell if it's happening or not. Oh, that's creepy. Howdy, friend. Is it the angle I'm looking at this? It looks like it's working to me. Yeah, it looks like it's still working. So I guess that's what we're going with. Cool. Delete you, because I can delete you, delete you. Make the environment visible again. Cool, so now let's go to render cam tilted. Now it's had a little bit more variation to the smoke. Again, I'm not entirely sure it's the right noise to use. What other noises do we have access to? AI cloud? AI. Atmosphere volume, obviously you don't care about that. Flakes could be interesting, but I don't think it'll be quite what we want. Modulo, no. OSL, nice. Reciprocal, that's interesting. Square root, switch, trace. Oh, why has it gone back to C? Random. Round corners, standard transform, thin film, tune, triplanar. Technically triplanar can do what we need. Either way, so that's going to have helped a little bit. So let's quickly throw on the wrong thing. Keep clicking the wrong one. Outliner. Kill this. We may have to take the wood into Substance. There we go. Right, so I guess we're just going to take the wood into Substance and let's see what happens. So I'm pretty sure I made a wood group, right? Oh no, I didn't. Alright, so let's just grab you got door, doorway, bring up the fence too. And this guy. And these are all laid out, if I remember correctly, actually respect each other's UVs, right? Yeah, they do. Oh, hello, when did you happen? Okay, so anything new going on with you? Nothing really major. I mean, I bought a bike yesterday. Annoyingly, I can't so years ago I used to be a bike mechanic. I used to build. When I say bike, I mean like a bicycle, mountain biking primarily. But I used to go mountain biking like all the fucking time, and just haven't. What do you call it? I haven't been cycling. Why is this so slow? Am I still rendering? I'm not rendering, so why is it still so slow? One second. Let me just flip this guy. If I can remember where. There we go. So we'll just lay these out again. Cool. And then just scale it down. Yeah, so I used to be a bike mechanic like years and years ago. I used to go out mountain biking all the time. The reason I stopped is because I had a really serious crash that almost killed me. I had a brain bleed and I've still got metal plates in my shoulder. And then just immediately after that, I was going to uni, so I never really got to get back. I mean, the crash itself wouldn't have stopped me. I would have got back on the bike, and I did do a couple of rides, but nothing like I used to. But then I went to uni, and then went to uni while I was at uni, got fat. Then went to London, and living in central London, mountain biking just wasn't really a thing. There were places you could go, but not within the range I wanted to go to. So I just kind of stopped riding. But then recently, I really wanted to start riding again. So I've bought a really cheap bike. It's a Carrera Subway 1, so it's 300 quid. It's nothing really, as far as bikes go. But I've bought that, and I'm just going to. I've bought some tools as well. Basically, just going to restock myself. So I spent a bit of money on some tools and got some nice pumps and stuff. Because I remember what my favorite things were. There's brands and stuff. And I'm just going to do the bike up a bit. So annoyingly, I need to get Halfords themselves to build it because I don't have a car, so I can't drive to pick up the box the bike's in, and so bringing that home would be a bit difficult. So my choices were drive to pick up the box, which I can't do, so I'd have to walk and carry a bike in a box back. Can't get delivered because my street's too narrow, and so really, unless I were to carry the bike in a box home on foot, the best thing to do is to have them build it, and then I can just ride it home. And as soon as I get home, I'll probably strip it down, just check over everything. But yeah, because I don't know how good the mechanics at this Halfords are. But yeah, and I'm sure they're fine. But I just want to make sure on my own stuff. And then I'm just gonna replace parts one at a time, slowly make the bike look a bit better. Right, so let's get this into Substance Painter. Export selection. And for now, I'm just going to put it on desktop because it's only a test. Wood. That's its full name. Cool. Why is it so slow? But yeah, so we'll close that down and get into Substance Painter. Used to be a bike courier. Nice one. Yeah, riding's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. I've still got a lot of my old gear as well. I've still got my old helmet and stuff, so it's funny because the helmet and the backpack alone cost more than the bike that I'll be riding, because it's still at my old it's my old gear that I've still got. The only thing I don't still have is my old bike, because I cracked the frame in the crash. which I didn't find out until later. Sold it for way too little, to be honest. But yeah, so let's start a new scene. Go straight to 4K, OpenGL. Let's grab desktop. Grab you. Then we're gonna want this to be what would be the best match? There isn't a normal material, is there? No, I'd be asking too much. V-Ray is going to be the closest. Spec gloss. And then I can just invert the gloss to get a roughness. Is it a spec roughness? It isn't. Alright, I'll just use V-Ray material. Spec gloss, and just need to remember to export it. We don't need UVs. Don't need anything else. Cool. Cool, so let's just set up our scene. Cool, and then let's replace this environment map with, how do I load it again? It's been a while since I used Substance, so I swear this UI is moved around. Oh, shelf. Let me go into environments, and I can, oh, do I have to go file import? Import resources, there we go. Add resources, so we're going to want to go to, let's just go to intro to XGen, then go person projects, no, look at environment, scene textures, HDRs, bathroom. And you are an environment, port resources to shelf. I guess current session's fine. And then let's just grab you, go bathroom. Why is it so bright? Cool. Shadows, computation mode, let's go intensive. Cool. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? Cool. So let's get, can we anti-alias this? Anyway, let's start off with a smart material. I always like to start with a smart material and just search wood. Let's go with walnut. So we're going to want to bake, actually. Bake mesh maps. Use low poly as high poly. I'm going to put that at a higher resolution than we need. I guess IDs could be helpful to have. Oh, fuck it, we'll just bake all of them. Cool, that was faster than I expected. So we won't be carrying through the details, so I don't really care for all the extra maps it's added. What I'll be using is almost entirely the diffuse, which has a bit too much detail in it. But what I want this for is stuff like this. It's quicker to make it in here than it is to, well, I could do it procedurally, but let's not. So, let's get you. Let's just quickly look at some other smart materials. Search wood again. Kind of interesting, but not really what I want. Although I feel like nah, that's definitely not what I want. Although I'm pretty sure this is the base material I had for the other thing. But let's go to that. Well, so let's try this one. Oh, that's wood chest style idea. It's going bad. Remove layers. Is it walnut we've already got? No, it is red. Did we try ship? That was pretty bad. Alright, so walnut it is. Let's go into there. I don't want to duplicate layers. Remove layer. Remove layer. So that's the first thing to remove. Okay, wood fibers is doing a lot. Okay. So noise color, that's fine. Wood fibers, you're doing a little bit too much. Where's the different levels? Nope. This sort of stuff where personally I'd rather be in Mari right now, but what happens actually if I does this have what I want? Not really, right? So what I'm wondering is, let's go into diffuse. So what I'm wondering is, do I randomize the colors in Maya, like do it in Arnold, and do I just paint the basic color in here to get the contrast that I want? Because basically this is what I've got right now, right? Like I've got the high frequency details, but I don't have the low frequency. What's that sharpen actually doing? I don't see a change. Yeah, I don't see any change at all. Weird. I can get rid of that then. Cut layers. So. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I always try to close that before it screams. Oh, I really need to learn it. Substance. Yeah, Substance is pretty cool. One thing though, do not. So I don't know if you're a student or professional, but if you're a student, and this, like, you know, you've not really done much with Substance before, a quick thing to look out for is don't just drop a smart material and leave it alone, because it's one of those tools where it can become a crux. Not saying every student does that. There's a lot that use it completely well, and there's a lot of professionals who use it greatly as well. But if you are new to it, definitely make sure that you don't just drag a material and leave it alone. You definitely want to continue to work on it after. And let's see if we can find some reference. I feel like I'm doing all the wrong stuff right now. Wood planks. And let's bring that over. Images. Search wood planks old. It's this kind of stuff that I need. I could do it procedurally, but I kind of want to paint it. Let's give it a go. So, for now, let's just create a paint layer. And this paint layer, let's start off with a color of black. Does it not have a color yet? I really need to learn where everything goes. Okay, so diffuse color, let's set it to black. Cool, I think that's all good. So now what we're going to do is set this to white, and I need to get my Wacom. I also need to change the brush I'm using. Oh, that brush should be good down there. No. What brush should be good here? I could get an interesting look, perhaps. Yeah, I could do interesting stuff. Let's fill it with white first, though. I feel like it might be easier to paint like white to black rather than black to white. Cool. So let me get my Wacom out. Really excited to start a new project. There's a chance I might switch from Unreal to doing something in Houdini instead. Not entirely settled yet. We'll have to see. What's this caught on right now? There we go. My keyboard got caught in itself somehow. Cool. Wacom there. I look forward to the day when I have a desk that's actually big enough to have my Wacom on at all times. Because currently I have to take it on and off like constantly. So, we want to paint black on this, don't we? What did I just do? Oh, I'm viewing the channels. Oh yes, do it. What is it you're referring to? Because there is a delay in the streams. And while I'm at this, let me just rearrange my other screen a little bit. Open image, a new tab. And this is just, I'm just looking at the planks image that I showed on screen a moment ago. So, I'm not going to worry too much about, well, I guess I can change the tangent mode, right? So let's set that to UV. Just so that I can go close to edges without actually going over the edge. And we're just going to have a super quick go. I'm not going to try to get anything perfect, because honestly I don't really care enough. Let's sort of get something. And how do I invert my colours? Is there a quick way to change invert colour? Oh, is this going to be one of those bastards? Alright, so... Flow is set way too high. I want it to feel a bit smudgy. So that's back to black. Oh, Houdini. Yeah, I could do. I wouldn't call it a tutorial, because I'm not an expert in Houdini. So one thing I always get concerned of is, like, there's definitely a lot of people out there who think I'm a lot better than I am. I'm not at a state where I can just pick up a software and immediately make tutorials. That's the dream, though. Yeah, so let's block out some values for now. Let's have you. Should we whack up this flow a bit? Why is that painting right now? You. Where did that pop up? There it is. So I'm just going to block out the kind of places I want these values to sit. And then I guess you can do something like that. I can always break it up later. That's my phone buzzing a bit. Oh, that thing. Let me just quickly check if there's a way to invert color. Substance, painter, invert color, hockey. Pressing X. That is clearly not working. Edit. Where's settings? Let's reset all to default. Invert grayscale tool. So is this not a grayscale tool? I'm happy to restart this if I need to, but let's try. Delete that. Let's create a flood fill. I'm going to call this black. I'm going to flood fill, you guessed it, to black. Below that we'll have a flood fill which is set to white. And call that white. So now let's try add a black mask. There we go. Okay, so it has to be in this mode. Can I use brushes with this mode? I can use brushes with this mode. Cool. That speeds things up a bit. So, set you to UV again, and let's just quickly repaint that. I wonder if it's possible to copy this. Copy layer. Can I paste it into the mask of this? Add paint. No, I can't. Alright, cool. Well, that'll be how it stays then. I'm just going to paint white into this guy. Yep, there we go. Let's change our brushes. That's not the kind of brush I want. Don't really like that either. Why is that set so light? No, that's not going to black. So why is that not going to black? That's not helping. Remove mask, add black mask. Okay, so that is a brush setting. But that should be set, yeah, all the way to 1. Weird. If I can't figure out, well, oh wait, I can't use Mari at the moment because I haven't updated the license. And it gives too much of a moldy appearance. And it is literally a mold brush. Let's try that one. No. Charcoal could be good. Reduce the flow in that a bit. Cool, so let's adjust that slightly. Let's add a bit of size jitter, bit of angle jitter, quite a lot of angle jitter actually. And can we soften it towards the edges? Ah, keep doing that. Black mask. Set U to UV. Ramp masking. Is that ramps on the bottom? That might be. Okay. There we go. It's a better brush. So with brushes like this, you can't really get a thin stroke, so I tend to do it negatively. So I'll try to brush it out, then back in, and just slowly kind of find the line that I want to go. So stuff like that. I feel like the flow has to be more subtle when I'm going towards white. There we go. I feel like I'm not really a substance artist, really. I'd say substance painter, but I can't say that. I almost feel like it's worth going with a hard brush for a little while. Just to completely block values. Ain't nothing more solid blocking than an actual solid brush. set this to tangent map actually. If it's not already set to tangent map. That would mean I'm getting the sides as well. Saving. Why now? What I can do is block it out with tangent map on, and then go in with UV later and like kind of get rid of it all then, and get rid of any overspill at that. Well, that sketch is it doesn't match anything. That feels too much like it's framed. How can we... Kind of works. It looks too repeated. Okay. Where's that in UVs? There it is. It's upside down. So that's back to UV. Let's give this a test run. So let's go File, Export Textures, and again it's just going to go straight to desktop for now. So desktop, and let's just create a temp folder. Temp. It's that folder. Cool. And we want to just export a new output template. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm just going to call this one masks. And we're just going to add a, let's go RGB. We don't need RGB though, I guess. So let's go gray. And we just want to grab the diffuse. And then let's just say from red channel. Because they're all the same anyway. And let's just call that wood mask settings. No, that's not what we'll change. Masks. That's all good with me. Export. So let's go into that desktop. Let's go to temp. There we go. Right. So throw that into Maya. Oh, did Maya crash? No, it didn't. It wishes it did though. Cool. So we just want to go back to that. And we're just going to add one last layer. So that's our main color, right? And that goes into color correct. All right. So we're just going to add a file node. And this is going to load desktop temp utility raw, and we just want to drag that in as like a multiplier over everything. Just how many layers do I have? 5. Answer that question. So let's just drag you into there, and we're going to set this to multiply, and this is going to look pretty mad, but let's give it a go. And let's just hide the grooms while we're at it. Default scene. Let's save that. Cool, update full scene. Maya's grinding to a halt right now. Working? There we go. So now let's just go into here and set you to be more subtle. Doesn't really work, does it? Granted, I know there's no variation, but still. Quickly go to diagnostics. It does something. It feels more interesting. It's just not right. It obviously feels very artificial as well. It's not exactly expertly painted right now. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do. Let's see if we can stay procedural. Push it a bit more. So, sorry, substance. Discard. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get rid of that. We should probably name all the layers too. It's wood edgeware. So let's solo what goes into each layer, shall we? So layer 3 is you. I feel like this is the one we can get more out of. Where else are you going? Oh, that's going to displacement as well. My favourite song again. This song just makes me unreasonably happy. So close in colour. Why do they get so close though? Wood, grain, detail. Cool. We'll get to that. That's edgeware. She's a bit too subtle, maybe. Actually, it might not be. Yeah, that's fine. Then we get you. Maybe rather than color correct, I can use a remap value. Let's go remap HSV. Grab you. Grab you. Okay, let's quickly update the scene. So that's balked it somehow. Okay, so let's get rid of you and start isolating. Cool. So we want to make a more contrasty version of this. Let's do it the Blitzkrieg way. and literally get rid of that. Okay, so we want more black. Something like that. Then let's give it a little step up. That makes the line a bit harsher. So this is wood, large variation. And let's add this guy in. That's just adding a little bit more. So layer 2 is going to U. And that's just what, a more saturated one. Okay, so yeah, that's the base. That's the more saturated one. And that's being mixed in with U. Cool, so that makes sense. So y'all become a bit too samey, like over the course of everything that happens to them. So you start off really different. Right, so start off with lots of variation. Still got variation. They're losing variation completely, right? So we need this to change per thing. So if I remove that guy, add these back in, so that's not killing it, and that's not killing it. If anything, I might want to make that one stronger. Cool, so that's a bit better. So then let's go back to U. So we need this color to be replaced. I need this to be the mask of something. So let's just grab U. So I want this to be layer 3 mask. Let's just grab that down there. Mix. Out color R to mix 3. And let's get rid of input 3 from here. So now I can set this to green if I want to. And we can see what that's doing. Right. That has an interesting look to it too. Obviously not the green, but it has more of an interesting look in terms of like the contrast of it. So what we need for you is a darker version of this. Come on. There we go. So let's get wood coal. That goes to you, and you are the layer 2. That's seriously all it's doing. darker. Slightly more saturated, alright, fair. Let's just say layer 2 gold. Layer 2 mask. L2 mask. That one we'll keep alone for now, because we're going to come back to this. You are layer 4 color. And that one is edgeware, right? So I'm going to call that one edge. Where top. Cool. So we just need another color correct. This one's going to be for the darker sections. So this needs to go to layer 3 color. So we want this guy to be a bit darker, but also more saturated. And then yeah, so let's so now we can go in and get that layer 3 mask and just say how strong do we want these to be. And go to that, slide this up. And we could also multiply this mask with a large noise, just so it's not everywhere. Oh, God. Well, that feels a lot nicer to me. And it gets the separation back between these. We just need to reduce the strength of it now. So let's grab, it was this guy, right? And let's multiply him by a AI noise and connect the time to a note. Oh, it's not you that I need to multiply. It's the mask. So I need you there. Should probably clean up this network. Just plug that direct for a moment. Oh. There we go. Feels too soft. Let's try setting this to none. That looks really fake, holy shit. Alright, should we skip that and see? Like, does that just work better on its own? So let's enable making progress slowly but surely. I need to get some more bolts on these, don't I? That was one of the things I was forgetting to do. I have to go through and rotate them all to howdy friend. Probably should have made him lower poly. This light blocker, fuck off. Thanks. Great, so let's give that a quick render test. Oh yeah, lights. They are really helpful. Right. What's next? We should get a quick pass on colours on the, I think the paving stones. And then I'll call it off for tonight. So let's just grab one of you. Cool. So currently the color is literally just flat. So we need some variation on that. So let's get a AI color. Oh no, it's RGBA. No? RGB, A. There it is. So you should be the color. That's correct, color correct. And you should be in there. So for you, I'm gonna want, let's just do the same as the other one, which is, oh, that's the wrong color, correct. AI color correct. Can actually quit Steam now. So quickly grab you, put you in there, and delete the incorrect one. So let's just bring the multiply down, which will make it all darker. But bring the contrast up, or saturation up, sorry. So now we get that, and we have that. And we're going to mix those two with a noise, wrong noise, AI noise. I don't know, let's go cell noise. And I'm just going to quickly grab this one. Let's go to here and just shift click that. Maybe not entirely what I want to do, but okay. Cool. Oh, I didn't connect the fucking noise, did I? Cell noise. Oh wait, did I connect it? I did. Never mind. What's that additive do? Let's just remap HSVU. We'll see. Your turn to stream. Oh, you gonna do some streaming? Yeah, I'll be ending my stream soon. Why are you not showing up? Hey, when was the last time I saved? I can delete that now too. And delete you. And delete you. Oh, I've lost like fucking 25 minutes and it insta crashed. Ah, right, okay. Love it when it insta crashes. So I'm going to do the classic trick of going to, where is it? Outliner. And then I'm going to, what did I do in the last half hour? I'm going to just open the correct scene. Color management, yeah, it's fine. Before I put the nails up. Okay, let's go and grab that save scene file. Doesn't show up in recent, does it? There should be a way to access your quick save files here. But I guess that's not what we're going to do. So let's go to my C drive. Naturally doing this off screen. See if I can remember how to find this shit. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just redo it super quickly. Right, so I'll just save as I go. don't care that they're not really screwing into anything, because no one will notice them anyway. I'm gonna leave those, because that's those redone. Then it was the wood material that we did something to. So let's go into the Hypershade. Just quickly save the scene. To do this thing. Now head off in like 10 minutes. I'll just leave a stream, not a stream, I'll leave a render going so we have something more clean to look at next week. Oh, I'm hoping to be finished. I'm gonna give myself a deadline, the 20th. Whatever I've got by the 20th is what we're ending with. Ideally finish it sooner than that, but I need to get the project finished. I have been on this since August. Yes, I think it was August. There we go. So let's do a quick isolation. Oh, did we lose the remap shit too? Alright, well I remember to some degree what we did. So I can get it back. Remap HSV. So this one needs to go into mix. Let's kill you. Layer 3, this needs to go into mix. Out color R into mix 3. We can then disconnect color 3. Create a new AI color correct, and this one goes to the wood, which needs to be named again, and it goes into right there. It was set to a multiply of around here and a saturation of around there. I think that was everything that I did. Well, I need to obviously play the fuck out of this now. So that went to. Right, let's full screen this. And somewhere like there, and then I did like. How did I have this set? I'm gonna literally go back to my own stream and look for it. So that's what it looks like. So I had you like where is that? Position 0.8. That's how I had it, roughly. That was a bit lower, which means that would have been even lower. That's close enough. So now let's get the color correct that's going to 3, which is you, and multiply so that higher. Where's layer 2 mask? Let's move that contrast pivot a bit. I feel I shouldn't be doing anything right now. So why is it doing anything? Oh, because it's still set to multiply. It's set to overwrite. Wait, did I do that before? I don't think I did that before, did I? So this is the all new and improved version. Bring that down a bit more. Okay, so now let's... I feel like I've lost something. Let's go back to that other video. It was way more contrasty. I never actually changed it from multiply. Well, I don't need to set back to multiply. There it is. Literally just scrubbing through my own stream to see where I got it, because I can't be bothered like hunting for the settings again. It's like the mask. The mask is pretty close. Yeah, it's still set to multiply. Why does it look so different now? Is something not loaded properly? Where is it? Oh, that's the wrong one. Well, that was one of the things we changed as well, wasn't it? Remove this contrast pivot. Right, what else did we do? That's closer. Yeah, that's pretty much where it was. Okay, so we need to set overwrite. We just need this to be way darker. Right, now it's working. Was something just cached wrong before? There we go. Back to what it was earlier. What a battle just to get what I already had. Alright, so now... Jesus, this was one of those that's just gone on longer than it should have done. Really not in the right mindset for this, apparently. Right, so that's working. It seems a bit too stripy right now, but that's something we can come back to in a future stream. So I did want to quickly address these. So let's grab one of these guys, make a third layer and do that. Now grab this, then go to you, grab you, and just bring in you and before. Cool. So I need to create a layer RGBA. Color correct. Plug you in there. And create a cell noise. Grab you, go there. You go to time. That's what edge where noise. Grab the wrong one. Cool. So now let's color correct. Oh, something's changed again. Why does this keep happening? Well, this is just because of the lack of like cleaning up. Let's just quickly increase that multiply. Cool, so now back to you, solo this guy. So we want this to be darker, slightly more saturated, and we want you to mask them. So let's go in with a cell 1. So that's an overwrite. This only just dawned on me, this. There we go. Cool, so let's go back into you, save the scene. So now what happens when I... throw a few more octaves in there. Actually, let's just go that one. Right there. Let's change the noise type. Why would it? 5 and 5. Can I use a regular noise? Let's go with AI noise. And then this still needs to be connected to time. Right, I'm gonna start and end of stream render. God, it's been a dumpster fire today. But that's how it goes sometimes. So let's get this going. Let's get ground debris in there. Let's get the groom group visible. I'm gonna alt save my scene. Cool. And let's just get into those settings as well. Well, I guess we have achieved a fair bit. Just, it's not going to be a massive visual difference. But it never is at this stage. These colours feel too dark. Might have to adjust the colours. But yeah, they do feel too dark. We've got nice variation in there now, but the colours have become darker as we've done it. So we'll need to adjust that. Second, it's time to start. Why is this taking so long? Yeah, anyway, right, well, I'm going to end the stream here because I'm literally just waiting on a render to start. But yeah, so I'll be back on Tuesday or Thursday as usual. Hopefully, mental state's not great at the moment, which is why I've not been streaming too often. But hopefully, the mental state will be pretty decent again soon, and then I'll be able to kind of stream more regularly again. But yeah, in terms of what we'll do in the next stream, I'll probably fix the color of the wood. This wood's going to be like a permanent, like pain in my ass, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll also try to push the ground detail a bit further to do what will be finished with this project within the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to make sure, no matter what I've got, the project's finished in 2 weeks, and I'll move on to the next project, whatever that may be. But yeah, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed just chilling out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.